If you're all in, you burn the ships, man. There ain't no exit strategy. Like, you're freaking all in.
Podcast about sports, because that is one of 3 currently approved subjects about which we are allowed to speak under this regime. My name is Bob, sitting across the way from my good friend and co-host. That's Abe. How you doing tonight, Abe?
Doing well, Bob.
Yeah, here we are. Lori's here too. How you doing tonight, Lori?
I'm fine.
Lori's fine. No Georgia football
No Georgia football,
worry about
so
this week.
good.
So Lori's in a just fantastic mood, better mood than usual, I think it's safe to say. The other 2 subjects of which we are allowed to speak is simply answering the question, is Donald Trump a great president or the greatest president?
Will I get canceled if I say just great?
Also sports. No, great is an acceptable answer. It's time to live bet the games. It's 7:40 on a Thursday night, September the 18th. Log into my FanDuel account here and see what's happening. There's an NFL game tonight, of course, which I think is what we should go with. We have the Miami Dolphins on the downtrend. Their nerdy coach falling out of favor with the talking heads. Also, he's just losing a lot. He's got that Tua who keeps turning the ball over all the time. Against the Buffalo Bills, one of the AFC's best teams, likely conference title contender. It's an 11.5-point spread right now, Abe.
Yeah.
Dolphins plus 530 money line, Bills minus 750 money line. So I think we got to go with the number here, not just the money line. Who you got?
I'm going to go with the hot team, the Buffalo Bills.
They're going to win by 2 touchdowns, huh?
Some people learn from prior mistakes. Last week, I was talking up, I think, a divisional game between the Browns and the Ravens. Oh, come on. I know the Browns suck, but it's a divisional game, blah, blah, blah. And that did not work out very well for me. So, lesson learned. We are once again in a divisional matchup.
And I am going to be the financial beneficiary of your lesson learned,
That's
is
right,
what you're telling me. Hey, Gemini, did the Bills cover the spread last night?
Based on the game results, the Bills won 31-21 against the Dolphins. The point spread for the game was Bills minus 11.5. Since the Bills only won by 10 points, 31-21, they did not cover the spread.
By the way, I would imagine it's too soon to fire a head coach, this nerd boy down in Miami.
No.
Not if you're Virginia
Red
Tech
Pry
or UCLA.
Or the guy whose name I forget at UCLA.
I guess that is true, but you usually want to
Never
fire
too
somebody like during a bye week or some sort of break to kind of give the new person like a few days just to kind of like rally the troops. But like this is almost the closest
Thursday
thing.
night.
Yeah, this is the closest thing to a bye week without it being a bye week. So if they get pantsed tonight. It just looks embarrassing. Like, oh my God! And the announcers have to make up some stuff to talk about because the content sucks. Then maybe you fire them on Friday.
You know what will happen though if that happens is Al Michaels will be off wandering the wilderness talking about something that is actually interesting because the game sucks, and that fucking nerd Kirk Derpstreet will insist on like. Segueing it back to the action on the field.
Yeah, that's true.
He does it all the time. Like Al will crack a joke and Kirk will like malfunction and just start talking about the football game again.
Yeah. I thought he was didn't he bring his dog to the booth once, not too long ago? Maybe he'll do something similar. He'll play catch.
He's so much better in the college football atmosphere than when it's like he puts on his big boy pants or something to go do the NFL games.
Yeah.
It's just not as much fun.
Probably because he's bored watching the NFL games.
Although
the Thursday night games haven't been so bad yet.
Yeah, not
year.
as bad as that first year where it was just awful.
And this should have been a good game.
Yeah.
Like this, on paper. They've definitely, last year they started giving Thursday night better games. And this year I think they've been much better than usual.
speaking of double dipping, like there's the other guy. I think is it Fowler who does. He did the double header on Monday night. NFL. He usually does college. So he did both, and like we were recording that night. So I didn't watch it live, but I caught some of the highlights, and he sounded sick. I don't know if you heard him do the play.
I did not. I did not watch any of the Monday night game.
He did not sound like his usual self. So I don't know if he was
too much travel.
Yeah,
too much.
I guess
it's a busy time of year for him, right? He wraps up the U.S. Open, goes right into college football.
Yeah.
At least he doesn't have those awful 20-hour days anymore, like Kirk still does, where he has to be up at the ass crack of dawn or an hour before to do college game day, and then have an 8 o'clock game on the West Coast or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I wonder if he's happy whenever they announce the games. It's like, oh, I'm gonna have to be up all day because if you do a straight through or a 3:30 game, it's not bad.
All right, Abe. So we got you locked in for the minus 11.5. You're currently 4-2. Is your
5 is what I have to do?
Abe Live Bets the Games record.
Let's round that up to 5-2. Come on.
I mean, I'd be happy to. I could use the little injection of cash in the gambling account before the weekend starts proper. All right, let's quickly go through the WGAS News.
There's so much.
The
you can't go
WGAS
through it
NewsBag
quickly.
Sports Edition. Go ahead, Lori. What would you like to talk about first?
I mean, both of those coaches got fired. Dabo had that temper tantrum, that hour-long temper tantrum.
Oh, yeah. I think we should start there. Let's start with Dabo. So I've got this pulled up. This is 13 minutes into a 55-minute long press conference, but it's the first 15 or 16 minutes are when he just yaps. So this is 13 minutes into him beginning the press conference. That would turn into an hour-long press conference. This is, of course, Dabo Swinney, the head coach at little old Clemson.
I mean, listen, perspective is important. So if they want me gone, if they tired of winning, they can send me on the way because that's all we've done is win. So if they tired of winning, we've won this league 8 out of the last 10 years. Is that not good? I'm just asking. Is that good? I don't know if that's good or not. To win your league 8 out of 10 years, to go to the playoffs 7 out of 10 years, to be in 4 national championships, win it twice. Yeah, we're a little down right now. Take your shots, but I got a long memory, in case y'all don't know. We'll be all right. We'll bounce back. This is a program built to last, always has been, always will be. And I would just say if you give up on us if you don't believe in us because we've lost 2 games down to the last straight and you didn't believe in us anyway, so it don't matter. You wasn't all in anyway. If you're all in, you burn the ships, man. There ain't no exit strategy. Like, you're freaking all in. And hey, listen, I mean, if Clemson's tired of winning, they can send me on my way, but I'm gonna go somewhere else and coach. I ain't going to the beach. Hell, I'm 55. I got a long way to go. Y'all gonna have to deal with me for a while. I got a long way to go. I'm just getting going. I'm just now good enough to be a head coach. I'm just now figuring it out. So we'll be around a while. Let's hang in there.
All right, that's Yabo Dabo down there in little old Clemson. First thought is this is not the New York Yankees press room, right? Like this is not a overwhelmingly powerfully adversarial group of reporters that he has to go up against, and get in the ring against every week. It's fucking Clemson, South Carolina. Like it's a couple of 20-year-olds and a couple of 70-year-olds probably in that room.
Yeah.
And then also, that's the local sports folks. And then there's the college reporters in there who are 19. He owns the room. And it's so funny to see a person, and you could take a negative view of what Dabo's doing there if you feel like it. Personally, I think it's fucking fantastic. Like I have never liked Dabo Swinney more than when he's talking about I just got here. I just figured out how to work the fucking back door. Like I've just now learned how to become a college coach. You think I'm done? If Clemson doesn't want me, I'll go somewhere else. It's fucking great.
Ari Wasserman, who I know you hate, described it as your wife comes and says, I feel like the romance is gone in our relationship. You haven't taken me on a date this year. And you say, What about all the dates I took you on in the last 10 years? Well, if you don't want to be married to me, I go marry someone else. Just like, whoa, dude, chill.
I mean,
No one's saying you're fired.
Clemson, again, we must reiterate, Clemson, it's not some long storied program with like a grand history.
Right.
This is what he has done at Clemson. Like he's easily the best and most important coach in the program's history.
Right.
He has built them into something that they could have only imagined. And like 2 national titles, granted, yes, okay. They haven't played for one since COVID, basically, right? Since the first COVID year. But like they won a title in 2019. They won 2. He's not wrong when he's like, we've been to the playoff 8 out of 10 years or whatever.
Remarkable record when his resume that he rattled off. I mean, if you think about it in those terms, I think somebody else did something similar. I don't know if it was Brian Kelly or there was somebody that did something like, I did all these things. Like I'm a great coach. I will say,
much more charming coming from Dabo than it is coming from Brian Kelly.
So, a couple of thoughts. One, if you're going to be on tilt like he is, just flailing about, he should have gone over the top. You know how people always fall back to, spending time with their family? Like when he was talking about, like, I'm 55, I'm not going to the beach, I'm going somewhere else. Like, I didn't even like my family that much. He should have just added to that to say, like, if you hear me say that as an excuse, I'm lying. Like, I couldn't find a job anywhere. I want to do this until I'm Pete Carroll, who's like in his 70s and he's still coaching.
But to that point, though, like you say, he's on tilt. He's a happy warrior on tilt, right? Like he's clearly not super mad or anything.
No, he's not. But
he's having a good time getting off good ones here with the media.
It's a testament to what happens to your psyche when you lose to the Yellow Jackets. He's just now he's probably like doing the nobody believes in us thing, maybe for the locker room. Like nobody thinks of blah blah blah, and then they win a couple of games against like Syracuse, and they're like, you didn't believe us 2 weeks ago. Fuck you. So. Maybe it'll work out for him, but that 16-0 prediction is not coming through.
Maybe it will work out for him, you say, and as I pull up their schedule, coming up, they play Syracuse, who sucks.
Yeah.
They have UNC. They have BC. They have SMU, who might, who knows at this point. They have Duke, who sucks. They have Florida State, and that currently ranked 7, but I mean, I think we're still in a who knows kind of situation with Florida State. And then Louisville, Furman, and South Carolina. Like, they could easily win out.
Right. I mean, FSU will be a challenge, even though we don't know
how
good
but
they
Clemson is still Clemson. Like, they still have a top whatever team in terms of a top 10 team in terms of talent. And that offense figured it out the more the year went on last year. So maybe they'll Cade Klubnik suddenly figures it out at some point.
Right.
But like you wouldn't be surprised. The same thing as we were saying about Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You would not be surprised if Notre Dame wins out from here.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be surprised if Clemson pulls off the same basic thing that they did last year, which is to close strong and sneak their way into the playoff.
Now, Dabo is 55, so he's not going to cry. But, like Tebow did his little crying routine and how he's going to try harder next time, and they kind of turned things around. I forgot who they lost to, like Ole Miss or some team. And, like, this was years ago. And he's like, no one's going to try harder and blah, blah, blah. And that kind of galvanized the team. They did well. Maybe
yes, but he said it with much less grammatical acuity than you just laid upon us. He sounded like an idiot 4-year-old when he said it.
It worked.
Because
I'm sorry. Extremely sorry. We were hoping for an undefeated season. That was my goal. Something Florida's never done here. But I promise you one thing. A lot of good will come out of this. You have never seen any player in the entire country play as hard as I will play the rest of the season, and you never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push everybody the rest of the season. And you never see a team play harder than we will the rest of this season. God bless.
Nobody's going to try harder than we will. We're going to try so hard, guys.
Why would you even bring that up?
Why is that top of mind for you, Abe? It's disconcerting.
But I mean, it sucks losing to Georgia Tech. Try harder.
Yeah, that's the lesson. What else going on in the news this week, Lori? Since you say
the coaches got fired.
Yeah, we sort of already talked about that.
I know. Diego Pavia's lawsuit is continuing on.
It's remarkable. So this guy's trying to get to a 7th year. Like that.
It's not that he's trying to. He's just trying to make it so one could.
Okay.
I haven't read up on that since I read up on it last year when the case was first moving forward. But
it's interesting. There are players who can make, especially in this current environment of NIL money and whatnot, they can set themselves up for a pretty comfortable future through college. Like they have like no NFL talent, but it worked for them in college sports. And so why wouldn't you want to like drag it out and try to get as many years of eligibility?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to make way more money in college than he will going and playing in the Canadian Football League or whatever, right?
Right.
Or the XFL, presumably.
Yeah, even if he catches on with any of those teams, like I don't even know if he's good enough for even that. But like,
listen to the insults flying here.
But also, like I think the CFL salaries is like a couple $100,000. It's not like much. So if he can make millions, actually, I don't even know how much he makes now with Vanderbilt, but I'm sure he's doing okay.
Yeah, I don't know how much NIL money could somebody like Diego Pavia possibly be getting.
That's true.
At Vandy. It's a lot of Catholic mouths to feed too.
Right.
It doesn't go so far.
Do you think that they're going to revise the rules because they have the red shirt rules? All the COVID stuff should be out of should be cleared up by now, so it's back to normal. But I wonder if they're going to do some sort of like, we'll give you like an additional year if nobody bothers us through all this litigation. Like just leave us alone.
Well, there's all of this is like because there's something before Congress where they're talking about doing away with the NCAA and installing like a new governing body for the sport that would have a board and like a director. And I mean, I don't know the exact shape of it. I heard somebody describe it as being sort of close to like the U.S. Olympic Committee, but for college football. And then, they would make all of those sorts of decisions. And I don't know how that solves any of these problems.
What does that solve?
New coat of paint on the NCAA. But I don't think it's going anywhere either because there's the Senate is still kicking around something that they've been working on for the last couple of years too in terms of college football reforms.
Do you think that college football will ever become like the soccer in England? The English Premier League, basically it's like this top tier, and then below that there's like another I mean, we already kind of have that Division 1, 2, and 3, but like a super league at the top, like a mix of Big Ten and SEC teams at the very top, and then there's like a relegation angle where you get relegated down to like
That's what they're talking about might
ACC.
happen.
Yeah, because it seems like it's trending in that direction.
I mean, I've for years been saying that we should have 4 super conferences and be done with it. And maybe that's whether that's 16 teams each, right, something like that, or you can even, if you pull it down to 12 teams each and have just 48 teams, right, and then relegation behind that. I think that could be fun.
Oh, the relegation would be great because you have like the loser leaves town bowl, at the end. You have the...
Yeah.
All right. What else in the news bag, Lori?
I don't know. I didn't know that I was driving the bus.
You were just so excited that there's so many things in
I like listening to people talk about college football. I don't know if you've noticed that about me.
News bag. They eliminated the college football spring transfer portal.
Yes, that was one.
College football spring transfer portal was eliminated by the NCAA's administrative committee, leaving the sport with just one window for players to enter the portal. Although that's not really true either, right? Because when a coach leaves, a secondary portal opens up, which is why
but
all of these players are going to be jetting from UCLA
But you can't play for 2 teams in 1 year on like fucking Major League Baseball,
right,
which no one seems to have a problem with.
So, but if they go now and they don't play in an additional game, they can redshirt because they won't have exceeded their playtime limits for this year.
Would that? I mean, this is unlikely. Would that create like a perverse incentive where like you tank to transfer? Get your coach fired so you can open up the portal and leave.
I mean, it's hard to imagine a locker room organizing itself in that fashion.
You didn't need the star player to do it.
Good. They want people to want them.
Yeah, like if the quarterback wanted to leave, just throw the ball, sail it over people's heads.
But then people won't want him.
So the advantage to this is basically there's not a lot of upheaval turnover during the spring where you have some continuity. Is that the goal? Like, what are they trying to accomplish with this?
They want fewer transfers.
Yeah.
You can't stop them from doing it, but...
I mean, it's something that the
programs... And the coaches hate it.
Yeah, the coaches hate it, right? The coaches don't want to have to deal with having to remake their roster multiple times a year. It's bad enough that they have to do it at least once a year, and you throw in the spring transfer window, and now you just it's a battle that you're constantly fighting.
Right.
I don't know. It's probably good. I'm so far on the other side of this worry about the players that like anything that the coaches want. I tend to be like, all right, yeah, probably.
Right.
But
it's good to have.
I trust management on this one.
Right. It's good to have stability, in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we never really talked about the refs talking on the broadcast thing.
I mean, we mentioned it.
Did we? Okay.
I think I'm all in favor of the ACC Command Center.
I think the Big 12 just said they would do the same.
Oh, yeah?
thing.
Big 12's going to do it, too?
I think so.
They said that they're going to do audio only because, the ACC, you could see the video component also. I don't know why.
What is the potential downside here from a league perspective? Because I think that the idea here is we just want total transparency, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't want there to be any. We don't want to open the room for. I mean, just if the Charlie Kirk situation has taught us anything, it's that they will create a conspiracy out of literally anything, no matter how much transparency is afforded to us. So maybe that's sort of a fool's errand to try to eliminate any concerns about the fix being in. But certainly, it was always a little bit weird that like, nope, somebody is talking into the referee's ear. It's like, what do you mean? The referee is in charge.
Yeah.
Last I checked. What do you mean somebody's in his ear about something or another? So like opening that up and allowing you to hear that communication, I think is certainly good. I don't know why the SEC wouldn't do it. If it's good enough for the ACC and it's good enough for the Big 12, why can't we have full transparency on the process from the SEC? I don't know.
Also, it's entertaining.
I suspect that people don't want to needlessly invite added scrutiny, like the Supreme Court, because they have the leverage to like, fuck you, we're not doing that. But, lower courts have, they have to allow some recording. So same thing, like these lower conferences, not to disparage the ACC, but like I imagine the Big Ten and the SEC are going to be the last two conferences to do this because they don't have to.
All right, let's get into the college football action of the week. I know this is it's a bit of a dead horse that I'm beating here, and then the horse keeps getting up on like Saturday night and kicking me in the teeth because I'm like this slate of college football games suck. I say as I kick that dead horse, and then the horse stands up and kicks me right there in the gut.
But in a good way.
But yeah, in a good way.
Yeah.
The horse kicks me.
Yeah, better this way than like because the following weekend should be a solid weekend of football.
Ugh.
And if it goes the other way, then that would suck. But like, yeah, you're right. Under promise and over deliver. How does that go?
Yeah. What is the best game of the week? Just before you even get into the best games of each time slot, can we even identify?
Hold on.
What might be the best game of the week?
Where is game day?
Game day is in Coral
Miami.
Gables, Miami against Florida.
What?
Yeah.
They just felt like going to Miami.
Did they decide that before Florida? What? Wow, that's interesting.
They didn't decide it. They decided, I think, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Okay. Illinois, Indiana is maybe what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, I mean that's pushing it.
I mean, I'm interested in that
Auburn
Oklahoma game.
should be interesting.
Yeah, Auburn, Oklahoma might be fun, but also,
I mean, it is slim pickings.
It's rough. All right, let's go through it.
It's not. It's exciting.
It can be exciting.
SMU, TCU.
All right, we'll get to it. The best game in every time slot. Let's start with Friday night. A bonus Friday night game at 8 o'clock on Fox. You have Iowa -2.5 at Rutgers. And I had not included this game, my first pass through the schedule. I just assumed that Iowa at Rutgers would not be among the best games. Like I was just like, I guess Friday night sucks, but surely the rest of the weekend, some fun stuff will pop up. But then going through the rest of the weekend, I come back to Iowa at Rutgers. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to watch that game. That's right. There's not a whole lot else to watch. So Iowa -2.5 at Rutgers on Fox on Friday night. is your bonus game. You get done with the Great British Baking Show on Netflix. You flip over and see how that game is going. Next day, Saturday at noon, we have number 17 Texas Tech plus 3.5 at number 16 Utah.
Oh, yes.
On Fox. That's the big noon kickoff, I believe.
Well, you're just sour grapes because you have to miss most of it.
I mean, it's very good news for me because I will be at the ball field. I have to umpire back-to-back games on Saturday in our Little League. Not something I'm really looking forward to.
Your phone is definitely going to blow up with, oh, my God, did you see that? This game is out of control.
I could not find anything better than Texas Tech at Utah. I mean,
that's a good game, yeah.
It could be fine. At least it's
SMU-TCU.
two ranked teams. Yeah. So
you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Noon on the second TV now. So second TV.
SMU-TCU.
Need a split screen situation going on here. The double box. Turn on Arkansas minus 7.5 at Memphis. Over under 62.5 on ABC. And Arkansas's got an offense, and they hung with Ole Miss last week. Or was that 2 weeks ago? I don't know.
It was last week.
They hung with Ole Miss and kept that exciting.
Won.
Arkansas is always playing close, exciting games. The problem is that they only win like a third of them. But that could be a fun game. And then same time, also at noon on ESPN2, you've got SMU plus 6.5 at TCU with an over-under of 64.5. So perhaps at least, even if the games aren't great, there will be plenty of offense happening there in that noon window. Then at 3:30, over on ABC, you've got what should be a CBS game, really. But
yeah, it's weird.
An SEC tilt between number 22 Auburn plus 6.5 points on the road at number 11 Oklahoma. This is one of those, is Oklahoma actually good kind of question mark games for them, I think. John Mateer and that offense have been quite good up to this point. Can they prove it out against top flight SEC opponent? If that's
top
what Auburn...
flight.
I mean, ish.
They scored a lot of points on Syracuse.
If that's what Auburn is.
Does Auburn have any promise to be good this year? Beat Baylor, right? Didn't they? Who did they beat?
I'm sorry. It was Tennessee against Syracuse.
Yeah,
they beat Baylor.
Auburn beat up on Baylor, but gave up 24 points to them. So they've beaten Baylor, Ball State, and South Alabama before starting their SEC schedule here. And it ain't easy for Old Barn. They've got Oklahoma, followed by Texas A&M on the road. And then we come to them on October 11th. Then they've got Mizzou, Arkansas, Kentucky, Vandy, and then Mercer, and they close out, of course, with the Iron Bowl. But no, I don't think they're expected to be terribly good. During that game, I kind of had to flip a coin here, actually, because I don't know if that game is necessarily going to be better than the other game, the second TV game. We've got number 21 Michigan laying 1.5 on the road at Nebraska, and they won't have their head coach. This is Sherron Moore in Michigan. They had to pick a 2-week period during which he would serve his suspension, and they chose to pick this 2-week window.
Really? They were given the choices like having a prison sentence. You can just
he wanted
2
to
days
be
here,
able
2 days
to
there.
coach at Oklahoma.
Yeah,
because
they
he
didn't
went
want
there.
him to miss the Oklahoma game because that was his alma mater. And apparently, like back in the spring, they gave him options, and this was the window that he chose.
This is according to the ESPN Predictometer, the tightest. It's 50.3 Nebraska, 49.7 Michigan. Very tight.
You're obsessed with Predictometer.
I feel like that's fair.
Do you ever follow up on Predictometer? Like, are you tracking?
Changes.
Are you holding the Predictometer to account?
I'm keeping track because I know this ESPN app is lying to me. Like I already proved it the other time with the Clemson line kept on changing. So I always want to keep an eye on this number. I bet you come Saturday at noon before this game, it's a 3:30 game, this will be totally different.
Yeah. But that could be a fun game, and it gives this is the sort of game that Matt Rule and Nebraska kind of need to win. Like they don't have their coach. Nebraska doesn't have a ton of signature wins, through the last couple of years. if Matt Rule can't make it happen this year with this second or third year with Dylan Ravioli, when is he going to make it happen, you know?
Yeah.
All right. And then so those are the only 2 games in that 3:30 window. Again, not too mad because I probably won't be home yet. At 7:30, the best game to watch is probably number 9, Illinois, plus 6.5 at Kurt Signetti's number 19, Indiana. Why is the number 9 team in the country catching a touchdown on the road at the number 19 team in the country? And the answer is obviously because these rankings are total bullshit.
Yes. Because they're basically allowing the preseason numbers to weigh against what we already know, like the first couple of weeks. So, like, if they just kind of started from scratch, week 1, maybe it would be much closer. It'd be like they're both like 12 and 13 or something like that.
Yeah. But, yeah, that should be a fun game. Hopefully a lot of points scored by my boy, the various Mendozas there at Indiana. Quad box time at 7:30. And it's you got to sort of stretch to get to a quad box.
Yeah.
But there's a chance that there will be some fun games on that evening. And have yourself a couple of cold cocktails. All of a sudden, the football gets way more fun. So, pour yourself one and turn the TV on. Have a good time. South Carolina.
Your wife.
Yeah, with your wife, obviously. South Carolina, plus 9.5 at number 23, Mizzou, at 7 o'clock on ESPN. I think that line has been moving closer towards Missouri. It's been...
No.
The line has been getting smaller.
Yeah.
South Carolina's...
So it has to do with the availability.
Right. Lenora Sellers, I think, is expected to play now.
Now it is, and it moved to... They just did Ari and Andy just did an update on this. They talked to a BetMGM guy, and he said if he definitely wasn't playing, the line would have been 13. And if he definitely was playing, it would have been 7. So they split the difference, and now it's 10 because they're, not sure.
Okay.
So that was interesting.
Lenora Sellers is worth a touchdown to the South Carolina offense.
Yes.
That's quite a lot.
That's Heisman winner, Lenora.
Oh, yeah. That's what he's looked like so far. Also in the quad box there, put on Florida, plus 7.5 at Miami. Hopefully just for the giggles to watch Florida get embarrassed by...
Maybe Lagway got it out of his system and he's going to put up, a career game.
Yeah, maybe. Arizona State, plus 2.5 at Baylor. On Fox. That's a game that will likely feature a whole lot of offense. And then the fourth game in the quad box, because having 3 going doesn't make any sense because it's the
uneven.
same size. Yeah. They just go 1, 2, and then it's not like they can stretch the one at the bottom.
Doesn't work.
So throw the Apple Cup up there. You've got Washington minus 3 touchdowns at Washington State. And Washington State actually won that game last year. They won't win it again this year, in all likelihood. But, rivalry game here in the end of September. Can't argue with that too much. And then I don't have anything for the late window. It doesn't matter.
Not interested in the Spartans and the Trojans? The Greek War?
Yeah, it's the Trojan, Michigan State at USC.
Yeah, the problem is Michigan State sucks, though.
Yeah, but it'll be the first game USC's really playing.
That's wild. That game is going to end at 2 a.m. 11 o'clock start.
For us.
Yeah, Michigan State at USC, an 11 o'clock kick.
Yeah,
that is very
Michigan
late.
State, where is that, Lansing? It's East Coast time zone. So they're going to feel like it's that late.
I hope I've had my fill of the cocktails by that point, and I'm all set. I don't think I want to watch that one.
That is a degenerate gambler special. Your
it really
15
is.
leg parlay.
You really need to get right.
Or that's the kind that would be fun if we went out and came back. If we didn't watch any football.
That's true.
And we came home, it'd be like, oh, good, there's still football on.
Or you go out and that's the one you can find late at night at the bar.
Yeah.
A good one to have on the background at the bar. I guess.
Yeah, like everybody's watching, nobody cares.
All right, let's go through the CIB 2025 Pick'em Contest. I've got cousin Steve's picks here. He was once again presented me with his 5-way parlay. He has not yet hit the 5-way parlay. But, I'm sure it's coming, Steve. Don't worry about it. He's got Tech minus 24. That's Tech at home against the Temple Owls, minus 24 points. He's got Miami laying 7.5 points. He's got the Bills at home tonight, minus 12.5. He's got it even worse than you. You got it in 11.5. He's at 12.5.
That point is going to make a difference.
Steelers minus 1.5 at home or on the road against the Patriots, and he's got the Colts on the road against the Tennessee Titans minus 3.5. And those are Cousin Steve's 5 games. Lori, from whom did you poach your picks this week?
Okay, so it was a combination of the usuals. It was Josh, Pate, and Ari and Andy, but they didn't agree on a lot. And then also the other show that I listened to, I tried to remember what they liked.
All right. Well, you've chosen Oklahoma minus 6.5 at home, Nebraska plus 2.5 at home, Illinois plus 6.5. I don't think that's right. I think Indiana wins that game handily. That's my guess.
Okay. Why didn't you pick that?
I didn't pick it. I think that's what's going to happen.
Boy.
Handily.
Wow.
TCU as the 6.5-point favorite. You are taking them outright for a big 2-pointer there. And Memphis plus 7.5 points at home against Arkansas. And those are Lori's 5 games. Lori currently in the lead with 50 points. Abe, what are your games this week?
All right, so real easy games. So I got Texas Tech winning outright over Utah. No particular reason other than just a potential 10-point pickup. And Belichick, North Carolina, plays UCF, or as he likes to call them, Central. And so I think he disparaged the school by just calling them Central. I think they don't like it, so the school's trying to make a thing out of it, like bulletin board thing, like he doesn't respect us. And so I'm thinking he's going to turn things around.
What makes you think this team is going on the road and beating anybody? What are you?
Because here's the thing, it takes a while for these kids to digest the brilliance of Belichick. So they ate a lot of shit week 1 and they won a couple of games. They're getting their bearings and they're gonna figure it out. So this is gonna be their welcome to college football game. Everybody's thinking, UNC is gonna get killed. Kablam.
You know what? I'm glad we're not live betting that one for the sake of my FanDuel balance. That's all I'll say. Go ahead.
And on the NFL front, I'm gonna try the strategy of just riding like the hot teams. So I got the Bucks over the Jets, and the Chargers over the Broncos. So those two are just kind of ride the hot team, or the teams that I think are good. And then I got. This is a weird one. Bengals over the Vikings.
Are either quarterback playing in this game?
So the starting quarterbacks for both teams will not play. JJ with the Vikings is out, and Burrow with his toe issue is going to be out. So that leaves, what's his face? Carson Wentz starting for Minnesota. And anytime Carson Wentz is starting, doesn't matter who the other starter is, just pick the other team. I believe this is, I think, a record 6th different team that he's starting for, which hasn't happened before. 6th different team that Carson Wentz.
He's got one of those faces that he just looks like he's been beat up a lot. Like he's got one of those I've taken a lot of punches in my day kind of faces.
Like his nose isn't like, it's like it didn't have any cartilage, it's just but yeah, so those are my picks.
All right, I went with 5 outright dogs this week. I'm trying to not just catch back up, but leap out into a healthy lead here.
This is a very aggressive.
It's an aggressive week 4 move, yes, but I don't like.
Bob doesn't like being
in the middle of the pack here with 40 fucking points. Get me where I belong, out in front. These are the 5 games that are going to do it. Rutgers at home is catching 2.5 points. I'll take them as the outright winner. Army at home catching 2.5 points. I'll take them against North Texas as the outright winner. The Patriots at home catching 1.5 against the Steelers. I'll take them as the outright winner. You'll notice a pattern here, perhaps. And then the two road teams I'm taking who are underdogs are the Texans catching 2.5 points. I'll take them outright over the Jaguars. And then the Cowboys catching 1.5 against Chicago. If the Cowboys can score 40 points like they did last week against the Giants, who are supposed to have a halfway decent defense with all of the draft capital and money they've spent on the defense the last couple of years, surely they can do the same against the fucking Bears.
Right.
So
the
Cowboys.
I say aggressive, but at least on the NFL side, those are all plausible. Those can all happen. Just that, I don't know, shit about Rutgers. Is this team supposed to be good?
I don't know.
No.
It's 2.5 points at home though, on a Friday night. There's these New Jersey people. They don't appreciate being disparaged and
They also don't care about college football.
underappreciated.
Don't they have like a storied history, Rutgers football? You know, they've been around for a minute.
Yeah, sure. That's why you show them respect and don't make them home underdogs on a Friday night on national TV. All right, that's the CIB Pick'em game. We are going to now go live to Plains, Georgia, where Jimmy Carter is standing by from heaven to give us his presidential lock of the week.
Hello once again to my dear friends at Cast Iron Balls, and also to Abe. I can tell you how frustrated I am to still be winless in my presidential lock of the week so far this season. I know a good many of you rely on my expert handicapping abilities, and I'm letting you down, and for that, I'm truly sorry. On the other hand, if you're taking gambling advice from a dead man talking to you on a no-account sports podcast from heaven, well, let's just say, I suspect things might have gone sideways for you a little ways back, and you might want to reconsider some things. Did you know that it was 49 years ago today that the funeral for Chinese Communist Party chairman Mao Zedong took place? 49 years. But my biscuit, time tends to lose all meaning here in the happily ever after. But seeing that invitation to celebrate Chairman Mao's 49 years in heaven really took me by surprise. Did you know his body is still on display in Beijing? He's awful sore about it too. He wanted to be cremated. And in which way, I can't for the life of me figure out what to get him for a present. What do you get a man who was responsible for at least 50 million human deaths and still ended up in heaven? Couple links. But on to the business at hand, I obviously don't have the first clue about college football this season. I blame the fact that you can't get Phil Steele's annual preview magazine up here. So let's stick with the professionals. Give me the Chargers at home against the Broncos and lay the 2.5 points. That Sean Payton is a real sourpuss. As always, enjoy the games with good food and drink, and most importantly, good company. And be kind to one another. For gosh sakes, almost nothing matters besides that. May God bless this great nation and this great podcast. Until next time, this is Jimmy from Plains for Cast Iron Balls.
Couple of things. One, very wise for Jimmy to jump on my bandwagon and choose the Chargers.
I see that. On the same side with you there with the Chargers.
The other thing, to let good old Jimmy know, if you're palling around with Mao Zedong, you're in the bad place. I don't want to... You are not in heaven.
What are you saying, Abe?
I'm just saying. That's a pretty terrible resume to get into heaven.
Who have we besides him? Who have we mentioned?
He made friends with O.J. Simpson a couple of weeks ago, as I recall.
Noticed a trend?
No mention from Abe about that one.
He's got a bookie.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm thinking, OJ. I'm thinking maybe he did like, he turned his life over to the Lord before he died. But Mao Zedong, not a religious man from what I
not
know.
a lot of public indication that OJ turned anything around.
Maybe quietly,
A lot of like Facebook Live videos from the golf course.
How do you know Mao Zedong didn't do that?
He didn't strike me as a religious man. Not that
No,
OJ did,
didn't-
but to be fair.
didn't strike you as a religious man. The leader of a literally godless
That gave it away, yes.
Communist Party, huh? You've been listening to Cast Iron Balls, a podcast about sports with Bob and Abe. Find the show on Substack, brainiron.substack.com, where you can find plenty more from us, including the Billboard Hot 100 game, Cast Iron Brains, and soon to come, I promise, the Philip K. Dickquisition. Just did a lot of editing work on episode 1 of the Philip K. Dickquisition yesterday, and it turned out well. I'm excited for it. We'll get that out to you as soon as possible. That's brainiron.substack.com. The opening and closing themes of this show were composed by Mark Gillig, tetramermusic.com, Tetramer music.com. For more from us, I had to give Mark the old half a brush off this week, and he's like, it'd be fun to get poker going again. I'm like, man, I would love to get poker going again. I podcast fucking 2 or 3 nights a week. I coach baseball the other 2 or 3 nights a week, and then I'm watching football. Like, what am I going to not watch football the other night of the week?
That's true.
My wife would kill me.
I mean, I'm going to watch football. I'm not playing poker. You can play poker.
So I don't know. We'll figure something out here. Some other season of the year. Just not. We're very, very busy right now.
Last thing I would want to do is hang out with a bunch of dudes who don't want to watch football.
Yeah.
What is the point of a dude?
Abe, did anything in the world of sport strike your fancy these last few days?
Yeah, there is this Division III college in thereabouts Pennsylvania, Lycoming College. They have a 58-year-old defensive player, Tom Cilio or some such. He has all his eligibility years still available to him. There are all of these rules where if you started or if you played one full season, like there's a ticking clock. You have to kind of finish up your eligibility by a certain point. But if he never went to college or he dropped out of college, so the time never started. So he's just starting now. Anyways, he's like right in the bench for this program, but 58 years old, and there are these TV packages about this heartwarming story where he's like, oh, this guy can deadlift so much weight and this and that, and all the players that are like 30 years his junior talking him up like how great he is. But he looks, just from the 3-minute clip that I've seen from the local news, very stiff. Not a lot of east and west movement. I don't see him doing a lot of playing in the actual.
I don't want to be overly cynical here.
Yes.
But this is clearly just a play
Like a stunt?
for the inevitable, like 225-page, and that's like heavily padded out, right? Biography that's coming, and then the attempt to sell. This is a well-worn
Yes.
story in the world of sports media, right?
Yeah.
And sports movies, where you get the old guy who's getting back out there finally, right? We've got the rookie.
Yes.
We've got, the natural is
yeah.
telling that story. Some of the greatest sports movies of all time tell that story. This is clearly just a play on trying to get to cash in on that, right? Like, primarily, the thought must not be, I'm just really passionate about playing football at fucking 60 years old. The play must be, look, I don't know if Social Security is going to be there in a few years.
Yeah, let me get a CTE concussion. That's going to do me well. But yeah, I wonder can you make like a Rudy-style story off of like a Division III team that's should be noted, the season's already started here in college football. They're 0-2, and he's not even getting any playing time. So it's kind of hard to manufacture some sort of inspiring story out of that. But, who knows? From
the sungazette.com, I already joked they'll probably have to assign a tutor to my tutor. So, yeah, I'm stressed academically. 40-plus years out of a classroom. I had to get acclimated. So not too bright either, apparently.
Well, so why would the tutor need a tutor?
They did mention that
That's not how that works.
he needed a lot of catching up on the play design and scheme. Apparently, he wasn't following sports. Not that just watching television is enough, but like it seems like he doesn't really know just basic schemes.
I mean, do they do basic schemes at
Oh yeah,
D3 Lycoming College?
This is a very serious program. It's funny. They interviewed the head coach. I think the coach is about his age, and he never mentioned it. He's like, this guy's older than I am. And
Oh, that's a relief. What if it was a child coach?
Yeah.
That would be a nightmare.
that's true.
Lori, anything else in the world of sport catch your fancy this week?
I don't think so.
What about heart emoji, Cardi
No,
B,
not that.
Stefan Diggs expecting child as a headline on ESPN?
Do you think there'll be more of this going forward? Just a bunch of emojis?
Emojis in headlines.
Yes.
What are we doing? Dolphins 7, Bills 7. Not looking good
Oh,
right
boy.
now.
But it
on a
takes a little while to build a lead.
ESPN says Sellers now probable for South Carolina at
Ooh.
Mizzou.
Oh wow. Let's see how the line moves.
Well, Abe, have you got anything else for us tonight?
Nope.
Well, I guess that's all we've got for you tonight then, and we will talk to you next time.
Later.
MLB and Dodger great Clayton Kershaw has announced that this is going to be his last season. He is going to retire at the end of this year.
Do you think it's a high character move to do it in this way instead of how some people do it like, hey, I want all the praise. I'm gonna announce it a year in advance so everybody can just kiss
I
my
think
ass.
it's
No,
I
I
think it's
like
good.
it better. I like it the Chipper Jones way.
What was the Chipper Jones?
In
To
way?
say
advance?
this is my last
Yeah.
year,
The
do a
big-
victory, not a victory lap, but it let all the
All the
other
people
stadiums give him presents.
Yeah, I mean it was a bit much though, right? Like the Chipper retirement tour, and like the Marlins are giving him a surfboard or something. Like, I don't remember
I
what
think
the
it's cute.
gifts were, but I thought it was a bit much. I like Clayton Kershaw a lot. One of the weirdest curveballs and deliveries that you've seen, and a first ballot Hall of Famer without a doubt. This is a guy who has a career spanning since 2008, so 18 years, 18 seasons, all with the Dodgers. A 2.54 career ERA, which is, how can that be right? Is that right?
That can't be right.
It's saying his career ERA is 2.54. That is fucking spectacular, if accurate. Big if true. I mean, it's Baseball Reference. I didn't know it was that good. I assumed that because he'd had a couple of years here where he'd fallen off, but 2.54 career ERA, strikeout per 9 of 9.6. Yeah, career WAR of 80. That's a lot of WAR. This is not exactly sports related, but Robert Redford died this week.
Oh yeah.
He was in a baseball movie.
Yeah, I know. That's why I bring it up. He was in the movie The Natural,
Yeah.
which is a wonderful movie. But even when I first saw The Natural, which I don't know when The Natural was made, 1989 maybe, or 1990? When did The Natural come out?
I'm gonna guess 87.
84.
Oh,
Wow, I
wow.
was way off. So he plays, of course, the character Roy Hobbs, but he plays him as a young man, like as a teenager, I think, the first time that we see Roy Hobbs before he injures himself. And he comes back some many years later and finishes his career as an old man. Even when I was first seeing this movie at 9 or 10 years old, Robert Redford did not read as a teenager in 1984. And to that point, he was nearly 90 years old when he died. And it was like 40 years ago. He would have been
In his late
fucking
40s, right? Yeah.
Yeah, in his late 40s or early 50s, something like that. So that was quite a bold choice. You couldn't have found like a young Brad Pitt, for example. I mean, not
Yeah,
Brad
that's
Pitt
too
would have
young.
been too young.
Yeah,
But
yeah, somebody that looked kind of like him. But if you have he's a very charismatic fellow, so you would want him to be on screen as much as possible.
yeah. And Robert Redford was pretty good, right? Everybody
Yeah.
likes Robert Redford.
Didn't like him.
The proceeding was created with 100% human content.